NBA action. Two really good games. And the NBA playoffs have been a lot of fun to watch so far lately. Game 4 set in the Garden tonight. Almost identical lines between both of these two games. Bucks and Celtics. Celtics favored by -1.5. A total of 220.5. Moneyline split +102, -122. 7 p.m. tonight. And how about this, Teddy? The Bucks, once again, 53-33 against the number on the season, 6-1 against the number in the playoffs. If we're flipping it over to the Celtics, 43-44 against the number on the season, and 5-2 so far in the playoffs. Good matchup tonight. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, a lot of good hoops on tap for tonight, and we've seen some wild OT games. Both games tonight have that potential. Obviously, we're talking about lines in the 1.5 point range. Now, Milwaukee coming off back-to-back wins, including the first one on this floor. Remember, they lost all 4 playoff games in Boston last year. Chris Middleton, quote, "I don't think we came here to prove a point. It's different seasons, different teams. We've been playing well on the road all year long. Of course, they did go 27-14 on the road in the regular season." Middleton, quote, "We're not worried about who we're playing against, really. It's all about us." For Boston, there's a little bitching and moaning about the refs. You know, when Greek Freak goes to the line 22 times, like he did in Game 3, he's taken 50 free throws in the first 3 games in the series so far. Kyrie Irving, quote, "What are you going to do? It's slowing the game down. The run that you would hope to make in a quarter like that doesn't happen." I mean, he shot 22 free throws on the game. It's getting ridiculous at this point. It's just slowing the bleeping game down. Yeah, well, that's a matchup that Boston has to solve tonight. They will have one guy they should have one guy who may help them solve it. That, of course, being Marcus Smart. Brogdon's not going to be back from Milwaukee tonight. There was some talk that he would. He's officially out. Marcus Smart was in practice over the weekend. He was asked if he took some hits in practice. Quote, "I have. I took a charge on accident. I wasn't trying to, just kind of fell. I wasn't even trying to take it. It's ironic because that's what I needed to do, and it happens on its own natural. It felt fine. Like I said, we'll see how today goes. Check it out tomorrow." So there's a decent chance the Celtics will have Marcus Smart back in the lineup. If he does, I would not be surprised at all to see a little bit of money come on Boston and maybe a little bit of money come on the under. Smart, arguably their best defender.
Pivotal game 4 in Houston tonight, Teddy. Warriors and Rockets. Rockets favored by -1.5. Total of 220.5. Moneyline split +100, -120. And thank you, Jesus. It's going to start at 9:30, not 10:30, Teddy. I'll be able to watch at least the first quarter tonight here. Warriors are 39-51 against the number on the season, 4-4 against the number as a dog, and 4-5 this year against the number in the playoffs. The Rockets 45-42 against the number on the season, 33-32 against the number as a favorite. The interesting part here is Kevin Durant has been cooking with grease out here. Obviously, James Harden's been able to match him. Will Steph Curry try to play up to his regular season level in the playoffs? Seems to be a lot of questions going on, but no doubt about it, all eyes on Houston tonight, Teddy.
Well, yeah. I mean, this has been a fun series. Each of the first 3 games, highly competitive, down to the final minutes. Game 3 ended up being a tough beat if you had Golden State. Certainly, I was on I talked about some of the blown. I had 2 blown State losers this weekend, but I also had Golden State, or Houston, minus in the win on Saturday night where they got the money in overtime. Certainly wasn't a right side there. We look at Game 4 and this series moving forward. We've had the rest, They've had the time off in this series. From here on out, it's day on, day off, day on, day off till we go to 7 games, if we get to 7 games. And that could be an issue for Golden State, a team that has played a whole lot of playoff minutes in recent years, a team that has played a whole lot of playoff minutes this year because of what they did last offseason. When you signed DeMarcus Cousins, bang, guys got to, the bench has got to be remade. They lost David West. He retired. Nick Young retired. JaVale McGee left. Patrick McCaw left. So now here's this thin bench. They can't rely on it. All 5 starters averaging 35 minutes plus in the postseason. That includes Andre Iguodala, who is, in the starting lineup this series for matchup purposes. This guy played more than 30 minutes only 3 times during the entire regular season. I worry about the Warriors and their depth moving forward. Houston doesn't have great depth either. Houston's a little bit younger than Golden State. And you talked about the fact, look, Curry didn't play a good Game 3. Klay Thompson didn't play a good Game 3. These are guys who we would expect to step up and play better. All that being said, Kevin Durant was absolutely unstoppable the other night. And to expect that type of performance again from Durant in Game 4, not something I'm willing to do. I would not be surprised at all to see this series go back to Golden State tied at 2 games apiece.